Listening Test 2. This is a practice listening test which resembles the International English Language Testing System listening test. The test consists of 4 sections. Answer the questions as you listen to the recording. Note that the recording is played once only. Please turn to Section 1. Section 1. Eva is an overseas student who has just enrolled at the National Business College. Her friend, John, meets her on enrollment day. First, look at questions 1 and 2. You will see that there is an example already done for you. For this question only, the conversation relating to the example will be played first.
Hi Ava, I see you've just enrolled.
Oh, hi John. Yes, it didn't take long. What about you?
Oh, because I've re-enrolled for another year. I don't have to be here until this afternoon, but I thought I'd come along and help.
Oh, that's very kind of you, John.
John says he does not have to be at the college until this afternoon, so the correct answer is C. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 and 2.
Hi Ava, I see you've just enrolled.
Oh, hi John. Yes, it didn't take long. What about you?
Oh, because I've re-enrolled for another year. I don't have to be here until this afternoon, but I thought I'd come along and help.
Oh, that's very kind of you, John. Maybe you could help me with this elective class timetable. It's for students who need more English practice, like me.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
It's on Fridays, and I have to choose which timetable is best for me. There are 4 to choose from. Here, take a look.
Oh, I see. Well, what do you need?
I need everything, but especially writing practice.
Well, do you want to go to the writing skills class in the morning or the afternoon?
In the afternoon, I think.
Okay, so grammar and writing skills in the afternoon.
Grammar? Oh no, I don't want to study grammar.
Well, in that case, reading and writing in the morning followed by pronunciation, then listening and speaking in the afternoon.
I don't think my pronunciation is too bad. Do you?
No, you speak very clearly.
Yes, but I do need more vocabulary.
If you study vocabulary in the morning, you have to study grammar in the afternoon. What about listening?
Oh yes, I certainly need to practice more listening.
Then your best choice would be to study listening and vocabulary in the afternoon and writing, reading and grammar in the morning.
Do I have to take grammar?
Well, if you want to improve your writing.
Yes, I suppose you're right. And, writing class, first lesson in the morning?
I'm afraid so. How's your reading, Ava?
Oh, I'm a bit slow. Yes, I think I will study writing, reading, and grammar in the morning.
And listening and vocabulary in the afternoon. Good choice. Now what do you have to do?
Just give this form to my tutor tomorrow.
Do you have any classes today?
There's a special introductory English class for foreign students later this morning.
What time's the class?
We have to be at the function room at 11 a.m.
It's 9:05 now.
It's actually 9:30.
Oh, right. We've got time, so why don't I take you down to the student centre?
Okay.
Come on then.
John and Ava continue their conversation in the student centre. First, you have some time to look at the questions. Now listen to the conversation and answer questions 3 to 5.
John, How many years have you been studying at the college?
This is my second year. I started, 1 year ago. Tell me again, what is it that you're studying? Computing, isn't it? Basic programming?
Yes. I worked as a computer programmer after I graduated from university.
So, why are you doing basic programming?
No. Advanced programming.
Right. Well, here we are at the student centre.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah, well, it has to be. There are 500 students on campus and 50 staff.
Oh, look. There's some information about clubs.
I'm already a member of the table tennis club and the orienteering club. Do you want to play table tennis?
I'm not much good, I'm afraid. What else is there?
Fencing, tennis, hang gliding.
What about orienteering? How much is it to join?
For second year students, it's cheaper, only £10. But for first year students, it's £20, I think. Do you want to become a member? I joined last year.
Why not?
OK, let's go to the student information office, over here.
At the Student Information Office, Ava wants to join the Orienteering Club. She has to give information about herself to the clerk. Listen to the conversation and complete the information on the club registration form in the spaces numbered 6 to 10. First, you have some time to look at the form. Now listen to the conversation and answer questions 6 to 10.
Hello, my friend Ava is a new student and she would like to join the orienteering club.
No problem. All I have to do is fill in this registration form, and the cost is only £15 for first-year students. To start with, I need your full name. Eva, isn't it?
Yes. E-W-A.
Family name?
Zaleska.
Zaleska. How do you spell that?
Z-A-L-E-S-K-A.
Zaleska. Very good. And you're from?
Poland.
Nationality Polish. I went to Poland last year. Great place. OK, so what's your student number?
On your student card.
All right. Here it is. 34968 AP.
34968 AP. Got it. You must be doing the advanced programming course. Tell me about your orienteering experience. How long have you been doing it?
2 years.
You're probably better than I am.
Next thing is, do you know your blood type? For safety reasons.
All right. Yes, it is A positive.
When we climb, we always nominate a partner. It's good for teamwork. And you both look out for each other.
OK, we'll be partners.
Right, so what's your name?
John. J-O-N.
Family name?
Anderberg. A-N-D-E-R-B-U-R-G.
Good. When would you like to climb?
Is Sunday morning good for you, Ava?
Not really, John. I go to church.
We have sessions in the afternoon too. Only on weekends though.
Oh well, Saturday afternoon. Is it okay for you?
Sure.
Saturday PM. One more thing. I need a contact number if we need to ring you. Change in the weather or something like that. What's your home telephone number?
01 222 565 248.
01 222 565 248. Now, all you have to do is pay the £15 and I'll fix you up with a club membership card. Here's an information sheet about the club. See you later.
Bye. Hey, Ava, we've still got plenty of time. Let's watch some TV.
All right.
That is the end of Section 1. You now have 30 seconds to check your answers to Section 1. Now turn to Section 2. Section 2. When Ava arrives at the Student Centre, she watches a television report on the European country of Estonia. Before you listen, look at questions 11 to 15. Now listen to the television report and answer questions 11 to 15.
Good morning, viewers. Today on World in Focus, we take a look at the small but fascinating country of Estonia. Can you see it there, to the right of your screen? Located on the eastern shores of the Baltic Sea, west of Russia, and to the north of Latvia, Estonia is a mere 45,227 square kilometres in size, which is, let's say, 3/5 the size of Scotland. The country is divided into 15 counties, 207 rural municipalities, and only 47 towns. The official population is 1,462,130, made up mostly of native Estonians, 64.2%, followed by Russians, 28.7%, Ukrainians, 2.7%, and Belarusians, Finnish, and others, 4.4%. The capital, Tallinn, in the northwest, as you can see, quite a beautiful city, has a population of just 420,470. We'll be back with a further look at this extraordinary nation. Stay tuned.
Next, look at the summary of Part 2 of the television report and questions 16 to 20. Now listen to the rest of the report and answer questions 16 to 20.
Welcome back. Estonia is a rather flat country. The highest point is just 318 metres above sea level. It has over 1,500 islands and more than 1,400 lakes. The chief industries are the manufacture of agricultural machinery and electric motors. Chief crops, grain and vegetables. Okay, now, you're probably thinking, why don't we know more about Estonia? Well, it could be because the country only gained independence from Russia in 1991. Each year it celebrates its Independence Day on February the 24th. The Constitution guarantees fundamental human rights, and Estonia nowadays is, in fact, a democratic parliamentary republic. The currency is the Estonian kroon, worth 1/8 of a German mark, or about 4.5 pence. The official language is Estonian, but given that the nation shares a border with Russia, it's no surprise that a great many people speak Russian. And so for the weather in Tallinn today. Estonians enjoy a mild climate in summer and can expect partly cloudy skies and a top temperature of 61 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 16 degrees Celsius. Back to the news.
Moscow. Talks today between the Russian delegation and the Vice President of the United States appear to have been successful.
That is the end of Section 2. You now have 30 seconds to check your answers to Section 2. Now turn to Section 3. Section 3. Later that morning, Ava attends a special class for students who are non-native speakers. The tutor is interviewing an ex-student of the college. First, you have some time to look at the questions. Now listen to the interview and answer questions 21 to 30.
Today I have with me Anna Cherney, who was a student at this college, how long ago?
I was here 2 years ago now.
Anna was a student in this English class when she was at the college, and she is here to tell us about the many problems facing a non-native speaker in a tertiary institution. What have you been doing since you graduated, Anna?
I was quite lucky when I left the college because I got a job pretty quickly with the local council. I'm still with them.
Tell the class what course you took here at the college.
Yes, I originally wanted to work in advertising, but I found it was too hard because of my English. And so I changed my direction. And, well, I'm glad I did, because now I have a qualification in nutritional science. And that's how I managed to get a job with the council.
What exactly do you do with the council?
I work with the chief dietitian, making sure that the meals prepared for the elderly in the community are nutritionally balanced. The council provides food for those old people who can't get out of their flat or their house. It's a very demanding job, but I like it.
You deliver the food?
No, I spend most of my day in a laboratory at the council. But sometimes I talk to older people to find out if the food is tasty enough and that they like it. I spend a lot of time in the kitchens too, making sure that the food is good quality.
What exactly were the problems when you first arrived at the college?
I was very shy, you know. I couldn't communicate with the students in my class because most of them were native speakers. My English was not very good. But I thought everything was okay until I got the result of my first examination. The tutor was worried why I was so quiet in class. I told her it was because I was afraid to ask a question. And anyway, she suggested that I talk to the school counselor.
What advice did the counselor give?
Well, she was very kind and understanding, and I realized that I was doing the wrong course. You have to be an extrovert, you know, outgoing. I think it's a personal thing with me. You had to give a lot of opinions, and I am shy. So she suggested I ask more questions in class. So I made it a rule to ask at least 1 or 2 questions every lesson.
So you swapped courses and began to talk more in class. Was there anything else that the counselor suggested?
Yes, she said I shouldn't live with students from my own country. I should share a house with some English students. So I did. And my English improved much faster.
Are there any problems that you currently have with English?
Oh, yes. I used to have problems with the technical vocabulary in my field. But you pick that up pretty quickly. Now it's mostly, I have difficulty trying to understand the colloquial language of the English. The way they express themselves is sometimes very strange.
I see. How do you increase your vocabulary, for instance?
I listen to the radio a lot. Interviews on radio, talkback programs, that sort of thing. I find that really helps me. It's better than just watching TV. And actually, I keep a journal of the expressions I hear. Some people collect stamps and I collect new words and English expressions.
Let's talk some more about your course at the college. Do you remember any study projects that you were involved in?
Let me see. Well, there was one study we made of the nutritional habits of English school children. We had to produce a questionnaire for a group of 20 kids, and we discovered that too many children either didn't have any breakfast at all, or else they ate foods for breakfast that were much too high in sugar. These are 2 major dietary problems.
Why?
It's complicated, but breakfast is an important meal because your metabolic rate, the rate at which the body burns up food, is faster the earlier you begin eating in the day. So, if you want to have lots of energy, eat a good, balanced breakfast. You need a higher metabolic rate, you see. Also, too much sugar in the diet can cause the blood sugar level to rise very quickly at first, and then drop too rapidly. For breakfast, this is bad because later you are more likely to feel sleepy and unable to concentrate. So, eat a good breakfast, you'll think better, concentrate better, and yes, you'll probably score better in your exams.
One last question. What about your future? Have you any immediate plans?
Well, in the short term, I'll continue to work for the council and gain more experience there. I hope to get a position in a hospital, which would be much more challenging than my present job. After that, my long-term goal is I have a dream to open my own business, an agency providing nutritional advice and giving consultations. Or I might have to go back to my own country instead and do what I can to improve the diet of my people at home.
I see. Now, does anyone have any questions for Anna? Yes, in the first row.
That is the end of section 3. You now have 30 seconds to check your answers to section 3. Now turn to section 4. Section 4. You will hear part of the orientation in which Ava is shown the college's computer laboratory. First, you have some time to look at the questions. Now listen to the computer laboratory orientation and answer questions 31 to 40.
Well, as you can see, we have well over 100 PC computers, as well as 20 Macintosh computers set up for those students who need to produce high-quality graphic design work. Of course, maintenance of all these machines and the equipment that goes with them, printers, fax machines, modems, etc., takes up almost all of my time. So, we have a number of rules. All students are expected to follow the rules, or they will be unable to use the lab in the future. And just about everybody needs to use the lab at some stage. First of all, log-on procedure. All students have to log on. That is, enter their name and lab number before the program menu comes up on the screen. The reason is that if anything goes wrong with the machine, we can find out from you what it was you were doing when the problem occurred. And this can save a great deal of time when trying to solve the problem. Which brings us to the second rule. If something goes wrong, you mustn't just walk away from the computer or turn it off and pretend it hasn't happened. You must let me or one of my assistants know what has happened. And remember, we can always find out who was last using the machine. So, with these two simple rules, it becomes relatively easy to maintain so many machines. The third rule concerns the use of student disks. At no time are you allowed to bring your own disks into the laboratory. This lab is completely free of the need for student disks of any kind, because each computer is linked to a network, and there are 4 networks, each of which has its own file-serving machine. We don't want you to bring along your own disks for 2 very good reasons. The first reason is because of copyright law. It's illegal to copy programs bought by the college. The second reason has to do with those nasty little programs called viruses, which can do a tremendous amount of damage. So, no student disks in the lab. We therefore insist that you leave your bags outside too, which is rule number 4. Now, a network simply means a number of computers are linked together. In other words, can share information. There are 3 networks for the PC computers and 1 network for the 20 Macintosh machines. That brings me to the 5th rule. Students must only access the network that is set up for their use. One of the 3 PC networks is only for first-year students to use, over here. Another is only for second-year students, over there along the back wall. And the third network, on the far right, is reserved for third-year student use. The Macintosh computer network is reserved for second and third-year students only, unless you are a first-year student of the graphic design course. Rule 5. You can only access the network that is set up for your level. All networks have printout capability, and there is a charge per page on the laser printers. The dot matrix printers, which of course do not give such good quality printouts as the laser printers, are suitable mainly for giving a rough copy of your work. They are free for student use during class hours. After hours, a charge applies. Now, class hours, as you probably already know, are from 9 in the morning until 3:30 in the afternoon, Monday to Thursday, and until midday on Fridays. The computer lab, however, is open an hour before class begins each day and until 6 o'clock every afternoon, except for Fridays, when the lab closes at 5. Now, if you need any assistance with the software program you're working on, you can either look in the manuals located on the shelves below each machine, or if you're still having problems, you can ask one of the lab assistants to help out. In addition, there is always help at hand on screen, in most cases simply by pressing function key number 1 at the top left of each keyboard. Well, that's about it. I forgot to mention the computer lab card, which contains your log-on number. By producing your card, you can borrow computer books and manuals from the computer lab library. OK. That's all I need to tell you at this stage.
That is the end of Section 4. You now have 30 seconds to check your answers to Section 4. You now have 1 minute to check your answers for the entire test. That is the end of the listening test. You are now given exactly 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the listening test answer sheet.